I'm an abysmal drawer, but this will make sense. So, this is a hill. And at the top of the hill is the Cary Business School. And it is next Wednesday. And you know, oh, dude, it's our midterm. Got to get there on time. Maritza is responsible. She gets here on time. And this is Maritza's car. Maritza. All right, and she's parked there. Behind her is Duncan. And Duncan parks here. Unfortunately, Duncan is having relationship trouble. So not only is Duncan parked here, his U-Haul with all his worldly possessions are in there. He's got like a little shirt. That's a shirt. You've got some CDs. No, records. Because you're like retro like that. Because it's cool again. It's so hysterical. I saw a kid trying to figure out how to use a record player and fell. I was like, you have no idea what you're doing, do you? Anyway, and Duncan also, it is like June 15th. And Maryland has changed its laws and you can now buy TNT. Duncan's getting ready for the 4th of July because you're like, woohoo! So, he has a box of TNT right here. TNT. Behind him is James. And don't get fooled by the appearance. James is a hipster, but he's environmentally conscious, so he rode his bike. And this is his dog, oh, and then James. And this is his cat, Kitty. Don't get attached to the cat. I hate cats. So the cat is there. Oops. Behind him is that Ryan, not as opposed to this Ryan. So Ryan is here, and Ryan's got his beats on. And you're rocking out to whatever it is you listen to, and you got a foot here and a foot here. And those are your hands. All right. At the bottom of the hill, this is where Paul lives. And there's Mrs. Paul, or no, I've got to be the significant other, because I'm being politically correct. I don't know what that was. And you have a dog. All right, and you got the dog here. Wow. Okay, and it is baseball season. So we have the Orioles blimp up here. Go O's. And so you got, this is Paul, and the other significant other, and this is the dog Rex. And just so we're clear, the person that you live with has never liked the idea of living in Baltimore, but you're like, oh, we've got to have the urban experience. And this person's like, you know, it's unsafe here, I saw the riots, just not a big Baltimore fan. Whatever. Okay, now, Lee, borrowing a little page from today's class, Lee shows up late. And Lee parks right here. And in the rush to get to class on time for the exam, Lee forgets to put the emergency brake on. All right, so guess what's going to happen? Ooh, I need another color. That's all right, I came prepared today. Oh, they're all the same colors. All right, doesn't matter. All right, so Lee forgets to put the emergency brake on, and his car rolls downhill, hitting Maritza's car. Hitting Maritza's car, the both of them go together, hit Duncan's car. The force of both cars hitting Duncan's car causes the TNT in the back to explode. And a piece of the shrapnel takes out the blimp. continues down the hill, takes out James's bike. Kitty bites it. Now, who was this? This was Ryan. Ryan is interesting. If Ryan had been paying attention, he could have gotten out of the way. But Ryan's rocking out to Justin Bieber, doesn't pay attention. Pow! He doesn't die though, because then he couldn't take my exam. But he breaks a leg. Things continue down the hill and take out the wall of Paul's house. One of the pieces of shrapnel also flies through the gaping hole in Paul's house and, I don't have another color, hits Paul in the head. Head wounds bleed like crazy. In comes the person that you're living with. They're like, oh my God, you've been shot. I knew we shouldn't have lived in Baltimore. Faints. They're kind of large, and they kill the dog. All right. Now, going back to causation. But for Lee not putting on his emergency brake, none of this would have happened. So when we think about causation, Lee is the actual cause of all of this mayhem. However, as we'll see more fully through Paul's graph, the law is going to say, wow, Lee, no one likes you right now. Good, you know? However, the law says to be liable, to legally cause something, you must be not only the actual cause, but the proximate cause. So now we're going to look at the scenario again, and what is foreseeable? And foreseeable meaning what is reasonable to assume could happen. And I'm really looking for my other highlighter because I know I had aha. What is reasonable here? Is it reasonable that Lee, not putting on his emergency brake, would roll backwards and hit Maritza's car? She gets a smiley face. Is it reasonable that those two cars in their chain reaction would go and hit Duncan's car? All right, they get a smiley face. Now, is it foreseeable that Duncan would have a U-Haul full of explosives that would take out the Orioles blimp? Yeah, so not only are these guys dead, but they are sad and dead. Oh, only 2 people bought it. Okay. As it continues down the hill, does it make sense that they would take out James's bike and the cat? Yes. Poor kitty. So he's sad, but he's happy. Now, we're going to develop Ryan's scenario a little more when we talk about contributory negligence. However, for the purposes of our analysis right now, is it reasonable that Ryan would bite it? Ooh. All right, so we will give you a not sure. And is it reasonable they would continue down the hill and finally come to rest after taking out the wall of Paul's house? So that part of Paul is happy. Is it reasonable that a piece of shrapnel from the exploded U-Haul would come and hit Paul in the head? No. That the person that he lives with would come in, think that he's been shot, faint, and kill the dog? No. All right. You can stop filming. All right, so at this point,